Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A hostage situation ends with 2 people dead. Also tonight, more airlines have announced the suspension of flights to the CNMI. And more hours are being slashed for a vital agency. We have the details. In sports, color these runners and walkers in any color you wish. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume.
Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before, it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour. So that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes? So I'll turn it back on after dinner.
Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Halfa Day Tiruwami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Thursday, March 12th, 2020. After almost 38 hours of negotiating, the hostage situation in San Antonio has come to an end.
What was supposed to be a routine execution of an arrest warrant to 31-year-old Gordon Odong Kostru turned into a hostage situation. According to the Department of Public Safety, local and federal law enforcement agencies conducted a breach into the suspect's home in the hours of 2:30 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Fortunately, we've exhausted every effort to try to have the individual give in to no avail at that point, because the community around there were feeling very unsafe. We had to evacuate some of the houses there. Too many rampart shooting, so we had to come down to the point where we had to make a choice. So the team went in, to try and defuse the situation. Fortunately, gunfires exchanged, and the 2 suspects were shot.
DPS Commissioner Robert Guerrero did not reveal who fired the shots, but says the whole operation was a joint enforcement between federal and local entities from different agencies.
Yes, the AG's office was at the scene at the initial stage. He shows, we call him up every now and then. Consultation, he was there when the whole thing went down early this morning. We also brought in, I also requested the AG to look anytime that police officers involved in any shooting, there has to be an investigation launched in the situation. I've asked the Attorney General for a joint investigation, just to make sure that, being an independent agency, they can work with us. So that's ongoing, as far as make sure that all protocols were followed accordingly.
Officers were in contact with both the suspect and victim's family for the whole duration of the event. But according to the suspect's sister, no consultation with the family was done before the breach. So just to make it clear, no law enforcement officers consulted with the family members to conduct the breach?
No. None of them is telling us anything. Me and Kujan went to where they're at to ask what happened, but no one is saying anything. Up until today, I haven't even saw my brother. All they were telling us is it's still under investigation. We went to the morgue. We cannot even enter. They keep telling us it's still under investigation. We're waiting for the IA. What is this?
The suspect's sister states that Castro was diagnosed with various mental health issues. Family members expressed their apologies to the community on social media outlets. The sister of the suspect states she was involved in the negotiation and says her brother was willing to comply. Was he willing to comply?
Yes. That's if I'm the only one going there without the officers escorting me.
Okay. All right.
They didn't want to take the chance because, I'm going to be alone, right? Of course, they're doing their job. But then I know my brother better than them.
Guerrero says there were about 4 negotiators involved during the whole duration.
Normally, when a negotiation goes in, it's a give and take. Everything he was asking for, we were giving, but he wasn't giving into our demand as well.
The items delivered to Castro were a soda, cigarette, and his medicines. Guerrero states the suspect was in control the whole time as he fired gunshots at officers at different times of the day. 5 police cars were damaged and 1 officer was shot in the arm. KSPN also reached out to Governor Ralph Torres for a comment on the situation.
First, I wanted to give my condolences to the family. I know that this time is not easy for any of us, especially for the family. And it just shows that situations like this, we're not prepared for it as much as we would like to. And I know that our department has tried their best. I haven't got the full briefing, as I know that it's still under investigation. But just on the outset, I just wanted to give condolences to the family.
The case is currently under investigation. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Sally Lemis.
The MVA board met this morning to approve budget cuts as tourism arrivals drop markedly. Our Chris Nelson has more.
MVA's budget is tied to hotel occupancy tax, and occupancy is down and expected to fall into single digits in the coming month.
Made some very difficult decisions regarding the budget because of the current situation. We really have no idea of what's going to happen. Nobody has a crystal ball.
Airlines continue to adjust their schedules based on demand. One of the biggest transporters of Koreans is shutting down service here temporarily.
The news today of Jeju canceling the flights is devastating, and that's going to be in April. So it's like, what do I don't know what else to say. I mean, the only positive thing is the people that are coming here are having a wonderful experience. And we continue to say that we are open because we continue to get flights from Korea and Japan. But going forward, it's very difficult to guess.
As of now, Asiana Airlines and Skymark Airlines continue to operate, as does United Airlines flying from Guam.
But on the positive side, we've had people actually come back to enjoy our destination because it is pretty empty and it is pretty safe, and they're having a wonderful experience. So, and we're really grateful that Asiana continues to fly with, and of course, Skymark from Japan.
Ichikuro-san, who is in charge of MVA Japan, is here this week in preparation for the Saipan Marathon.
What do you see happening in the Japan market as of today?
Japan market, not only overseas travel, but mobility people within Japan market. Oh, it's very bad, unfortunately at this moment, and we just hope that the situation to recover very soon.
And late this afternoon, Asiana Airlines has announced a cancellation of flights to and from Saipan. The suspension of flights will take place starting March 19th through March 28th. And according to Hanmi Chairwoman Gloria Kavanaugh, the airline has stated there may be more cancellations announced tomorrow. Stay with KSPN as we bring you the latest updates on this. No cases of COVID-19 currently reported in the CNMI. MVA board member Warren Villagomez is helping with the CNMI's response to the threat, and part of that involves a health form that is passed out and filled out aboard the incoming aircrafts.
The health form asks incoming passengers about their health condition, their prior health history, as well as places they have traveled and who they have come in contact with. What's the response like?
The response in regards to the health declaration that we had implemented is very positive and effective. We've seen great outcome on our inbound, and translating that into a database format. We're able to do contact tracing with implementation of the form, and it alleviates hardship on both airline and public health in the event that we identify a person of interest.
Villagomez says Rhoda is coming online as well, and a containment room being built at CHC is almost complete.
We're doing everything we can on a daily basis. Our family clinic, our ER, medical staff are very proactive on making sure that we try to capture patients that come in with the flu, and making sure that the criteria are carefully observed and monitored.
The Commonwealth Ports Authority is taking more cuts in hours and operations for austerity measures. Take a listen. All 7 board members of the Commonwealth Ports Authority voted yes to another cut in hours on the passage of Resolution 2020-4, additional austerity measures.
I think, when we first made the initial cuts, we knew that it was inevitable that we were going to have to go back to the table given the anticipated reduction in flights. And so today we voted to implement further austerity to ensure that we are able to maintain our operating expenses, but far more importantly, to be able to pay employees.
The resolution states an additional 8 hours will be cut per biweekly pay period, bringing the pay to 64 hours. An overall 16-hour cut since the austerity measures were originally implemented.
We made the first cut a month ago. Here we are a month later with an additional 8-hour cut. We are also finding other cutting additional operational expenses. And even with that, we're still short $200,000.
Initially, the CPA board anticipated a $3.9 million revenue loss, but now Hines states the amount is up to a $6.4 million anticipated loss by the end of the fiscal year, September 30th, 2020.
The way we've projected our losses is we've taken a very conservative approach and are anticipating the worst case scenario, and that is basically for the month of April until the rest of the fiscal year, we anticipate 0 international flights and just basically relying on the United Guam Saipan route in terms of revenue.
Other operational costs CPA is cutting back on are?
There were some projects that were considered, one of the priority lists. We've basically put a halt to all those contracts. So one of the things that we've done basically is we've terminated contract services with the parking. We had a contract as this ambassador contract where when international passengers come, they get some assistance with the machines, the APCs. We've terminated that contract, and we're looking to basically lessen the hours for cleaning services. So we're just looking at every single avenue to be able to reduce costs.
Hines says the additional 8-hour cut will go into effect March 29th, and the future of tourists and travel is uncertain.
At this point in time, given the proliferation of the virus in Korea and basically what's happening, in Italy, and we don't know what's going to happen with Japan and how that's going to impact the traveling public's psyche to want to even just hop on the plane, right? For as much as we want to encourage the industry to to, hey, welcome to Saipan. We're corona free. People are just not wanting to travel these days, and so the approach that we're taking is we're taking the most conservative worst case scenario and applying it as soon as possible, so to lessen the impact and to lessen the impact on the employees, basically, whose lives are going to be heavily impacted.
Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. And speaking on the future of travel and tourism, President Donald Trump has suspended all travel from Europe to the United States for 30 days due to the spread of the coronavirus. This travel suspension goes into effect Friday at midnight, but excludes flights from the UK. Here is a clip from President Trump's address to the nation from the Oval Office.
My fellow Americans, tonight I want to speak with you about our nation's unprecedented response to the coronavirus outbreak that started in China and is now spreading throughout the world. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We have been in frequent contact with our allies, and we are marshaling the full power of the federal government and the private sector to protect the American people. After consulting with our top government health professionals, I have decided to take several strong but necessary actions to protect the health and well-being of all Americans. To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will go into effect Friday at midnight. These restrictions will be adjusted subject to conditions on the ground. There will be exemptions for Americans who have undergone appropriate screenings, and these prohibitions will not only apply to the tremendous amount of trade and cargo, but various other things as we get approval. Anything coming from Europe to the United States is what we are discussing. These restrictions will also not apply to the United Kingdom. At the same time, we are monitoring the situation in China and South Korea, and as their situation improves, we will reevaluate the restrictions and warnings that are currently in place for a possible early opening.
According to the Centers for Disease Control website, as of March 11th at 4 p.m., there have been 938 total cases of COVID-19 in the United States and 29 deaths in the U.S. Coming up, relief plans for those who have payment obligations are now available. Find out more after the break.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. Hi, my love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Watch the Visitors Channel online, on time, anytime at saipantv.com. Where to go, what to see, what to do, restaurants, spas, activities, and culture, it's all in one place, in high definition, on your mobile device. saipantv.com. Check it out.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Because of an unanticipated downfall in the economy, banks are offering a special assistance to their customers with financial struggles. KSPN's Sally Lemus has the details.
Governor Ralph Torres recently wrote letters to all CNMI banks respectfully requesting a 3-month grace period for obligations owed from residents in the CNMI. 2 banks have informed KSPN on their relief plans. Bank of Hawaii has offered the following assistance programs that took effect March 10. Peter Ho, president of Bank of Hawaii, states, open quote, "We are aware that many customers are facing personal challenges from the COVID-19 and its impact on our West Pacific market, largely attributable to the sharp downturn in tourism. We recognize the hardship this is presenting and have representatives ready to work with individuals and assess their needs. The program applies to existing loan clients in Guam, Saipan, and Rota. Bank of Saipan also offers payment relief to their customers. A release states the bank is offering a slate of payment relief options. John Arroyo, president and CEO of Bank of Saipan, says, open quote, the type and form of the financial assistance provided will be tailored to the specific needs of the individual loan customer's situation. While lost wages make it difficult to maintain regular loan payments for everyone, not everyone's situation is the same, end quote. Aurora encourages customers to call or visit the bank's loan department, located at the RJ building in Dandan, to arrange a plan that works best for them. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Sally Lemis.
Stay tuned tonight after the news for our segment of Vintage News. This time, we're taking it all the way back to June 16th, 1993. A truck flipped over, sending 2 males to the hospital. And used cooking oil was a big issue in the CNMI, hurting our natural resources. Up on Capitol Hill, lawmakers were getting close to passing reformed legislation that would clear the way for federal approval of the $120 million 702 agreement.
Thank you, Ashley. Coming up in the KSPN2 Sports Report, it's a big day Saturday, but first we got to get through Thursday. Sports next.
Hey, we know that in life it happens. And when it does, Dial Rent Own is here to help. Come down and get a new phone today. It's easy. It's quick. We've got Apple and Samsung phones in stock and ready to go. Flush your worries away and come to Dial Rent Own. No credit needed. And ask about how you can save 50% when you pay cash. Dial Rent Own.
Do you have a team or company? Bring them to the Adventure Specialist, Saipan's homegrown Marianas Trekking. Our guided adventures will challenge and excite you, and our award-winning photographers will capture it in a unique and unforgettable way. Check out our off-roading, go-karting, mountain biking, hiking, and snorkeling. And we have top-notch rental gear too. So bring your team, bring your family, or bring your best friend. Marianas Trekking inside the Mariana Resort.
Grow your business with the Channel 2 News. Our professional staff are here to help you market your product, brand, service, or business in the most effective way possible. Be it state-of-the-art video services, graphics, or animation, we will make sure that you reach your target audience. Flame Tree TV, now in all CNMI hotels and most homes. It's your best marketing tool.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, all systems are go for the Saipan Marathon 2020 Saturday morning. 736 runners from 15 countries and territories have registered for this event, including a robust 358 from the Marianas, 125 from Japan, 122 from South Korea, the USA, Guam, FSM, Malaysia, China, Canada, Brazil, Taiwan, Thailand, Russia, Germany also represented. Actually, there are 4 races Saturday morning, a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and the full marathon. Start and finish lines are at American Memorial Park. The marathon will start at 4:30. The 5K starts at 6 a.m. Last year, more than 1,000 registered for this event, and more than 900 completed it. Well, Triple J puts the fun into run with its 5K color bubble run. They didn't want troubles, they just wanted bubbles. Saipan has so many cones on the roads it could be called Coney Island, but it isn't. Bring your own light because the sun was taking its sweet time. Eager early birds flock to the start line well before the 6 o'clock go.
Thank you everybody for being here. We are doing this to help our community members, the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the Cancer Association of Saipan. So thank you for being here and paying. All this money we are handing over to those in need. Are you ready?
Smiles before the miles. Joy covered the crowd like a happy blanket. Oh, they were glad to be there, and they didn't have to be.
Why did you do the bubble run? My coach told me to.
Experienced volunteers made for a smooth operation.
We're volunteers from Triathlon Association of CNMI, track team.
Runners, are you ready? Runners, are you ready? 3, 2, 1!
$5K equals 3.1 miles, or about 6,000 steps more for those with short strides. Dawn fell over beach road like grape juice. These people weren't running because, well, they didn't want to hurt their knees. Yeah, right. All right, you with the stroller, you're excused. The sun still wasn't up, only the street lights. Still, there was enough light so nobody would bump into somebody. The barefoot boy, Chang Jang, masters the turnaround at the tank. Run, boy, run! One by one, these pavement pounders, these weekend warriors, these Saturday saviors crush their road dressed in the latest performance-enhancing attire, past plates of mysterious powder.
Morning!
Right here, Toad!
Oh.
Yeah, baby!
Ow!
Wow!
You need water? You water?
Gas molecule.
Water? There you go.
Oh. Throw the trash in here!
Don't smile. Smile.
Smile.
There you go.
So tell me, why do you guys join the bubble run?
She wanted colors. Why did you join, babe?
I wanted to join because they had my favorite colors.
On the other side of the finish line, Bubbles waited. Buckets of bubbles. And kids, buckets of kids, who were cleaner than they were before the run. Strike a pose, vogue, vogue. It was time to get down and bubble up, run and have fun. That was the point.
Because my mom likes me running. And I enjoy it too. I enjoy it a lot.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Today's high was 86, the low 78, humidity 80%. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, isolated light showers, east winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. High 87, low 77, seas 5 to 7 feet. Sunrise 6:26, sunset 6:27. More daylight than we had yesterday. That is your news, sports, and weather on this Thursday. Please join us tomorrow night right here on KSPN2. Good night.